Hello everybody. So a quick video for me today. I want to talk about how to get exposure to SpaceX, because if you follow social media, a stock has been trending, not a stock, a closed-end fund called the Destiny Tech 100 fund, the DXYZ fund. This fund has been trending, doing well. It actually traded up to $1.2 billion. It was trading near $100 a share. It's back down now at $50 a share for this fund. What I want to point out is that I believe much of the value and the move of this fund has to do with SpaceX and the fact that it owns 34% of SpaceX. And, people go online and say, hey, well, why not buy the Destiny Tech? Because we're going to get 34% exposure to SpaceX. And I just want to show something that is very striking. And again, I'm not judging this investment, although clearly this is catering to, this is an emoji, a unicorn emoji and a diamond emoji. Like this is catering to sort of a GameStop, culture type thing. I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad way to get exposure to SpaceX. I'm saying it's a very expensive way to get exposure to SpaceX. And, maybe over a 20-year period, SpaceX is going to grow into that valuation. I prefer to get my exposure to SpaceX for another stock that I'll get to in a second. Let me tell you, though, about how much money Destiny 100 Tech owns in SpaceX. They own 15.4 million USD in SpaceX. In the latest update of the fund, their net asset value at the latest update was $15.4 million. You can see it right here. I printed a print screen right here, and you can see the value right there. That's and remove relative space, right? So that's about 15 million. And so that's 34% of the fund, according to the latest update here, updated data. And you see the fund is trading at right now market cap of 609 million. So if you do 609 million times 34%, that means $211 million is what you're paying for $15 million of SpaceX. 211 million for $15 million bucks of SpaceX. So that's a 14x premium. Again, could grow into that at some point if you're willing to hold something for 10, 15 years, right? And I'm not denying the great potential of SpaceX over the very long run, but that might be a lengthy process to actually get into that valuation. What I like to do, and I've covered this a long time ago on the channel, but I do have a few stocks that I call my savings account stocks, and it's it's the Triple Q, it's the Googles, the Amazons. And in the case of Google, I particularly like Google because people often forget that Google owns 6.99% of SpaceX. That is how much they own at the latest report. And if you look at Google Ventures, yes, they still own the 6.99% of SpaceX. And you're going to tell me, well, I don't want to buy Google, I want to buy SpaceX. Well, yeah, but Google in my view, it's not a hyper-growth stock, but it's safe as a savings account type stock, and it's kind of a spiced up savings account type stock. Because Google, in my view, steady, heady. It's gonna perform like the Nasdaq. It's gonna do 15 to 20% a year going forward, just like the Nasdaq, just like the historic performance. But it's being spiced up, if that makes some sense, with 6.99% of SpaceX. So making a quick calculation for you. So the value of the private valuation of SpaceX right now is $180 billion. Google owns at 6.99%. They own $12.5 billion worth of SpaceX at current valuation. But if we take the value of SpaceX within DXYZ, within the Destiny Tech 100, if we take that valuation, it's a 14x multiple. So actually, per valuation of DXYZ, Google owns $175 billion worth of SpaceX at the public price, right? At the closed-end fund public price. And it was as far as 350 billion. That would have been the valuation if you looked at DXYZ about a few days ago, 3 days ago. So What does that tell you? That tells you that, yeah, Google is a very expensive company. It's $1.87 trillion company. But right now, at $175 billion, if you take that valuation, you're getting kind of 9% off in the form of the SpaceX valuation, the SpaceX stake, right? And you could get as much as 18% off if you take the peak of that valuation. So as far as a long-term investment is concerned, in my view, if somebody owns the Triple Q, for example, they got a little bit of an exposure to SpaceX through Google. And then if you own Google, you even have an even more spiced up exposure to SpaceX. It's really easy to calculate, each dollar invested in Google, 7% of that kind of goes to SpaceX. I mean, it's not exactly like that, but that's the way you could think about it. So one of the things that gives me pause whenever I'm tempted to sell Google, and I am because it doesn't grow too fast, what gives me pause is the fact that they own SpaceX. 6.99%. I love that very much. And, who knows, they may increase their stake in the future. So that was it. Very short, very easy video today. This is obviously not an investment advice, no financial advice whatsoever. This is just entertainment. Hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.